In what ways does your media product use, develop or challenge the forms and conventions of a real media product? That the quirkiness of our music video challenge the normal conventions of a real media product, as most videos are quite linear and don't give a large personality to the band members, i.e. You Somebody by Kings of Leon. It's more of a performance with a narrative, whereas our song, Paid to Get Excited by Butchwalker, felt like it had a hidden meaning behind the lyrics. We felt it was probably something along the lines of Be Free, and we felt that we should shoot our footage along that sort of line. This led our music video to be quite interesting and unpredictable, which entices the viewer to continue watching.
Our style of genre challenges conventions of typical videos, as in Butchwalker is an old middle-aged man, and his video would be a soft performance with a non-energetic video. Ours is like an alternative American rock, like Blink-182, as in video All the Small Things, when there is a band performance, but it also has cuts between messing around with your friends.
We challenged the ordinary conventions of an indie music video because we added a comedic effect, which doesn't usually happen in a normal indie video. For example, the XX and Kings of Convenience, they're quite abstract and minimal and quite arty, whereas our video challenged this by going to the more punk rock style of things, and we were influenced by videos such as Blink-182 and Fall Out Boy's I Don't Care.
Using our main product and our ancillary tags together, we aim for a younger audience, mainly in their teenage or early 20s. We believe that the band image, often being portrayed as on the edge and free, would attract this type of audience, as they are in this stage of their life. Teenagers and people in their early 20s, usually being at their more rebellious stage in life, when they're joining protests and feeling that they should be free away from people such as the government and their parents.
How effective is the combination of your ancillary texts with your main product?
The costumes we used were subtle, simple clothing style, and we used this throughout the video, but also in the texts. And the style of the text was simple fonts and simple pictures and images, which we used in both texts. Sam used kind of young clothing, while Bethan had an old school style clothing for more older audience. This shows that we were normal people, as it was normal clothes, but we also have the feeling of free-willed.
We've made a poster and a CD cover case which runs along the theme of freedom, and that sort of relates to our video. Well, it does relate to our video. It's a subtle link, but the fact that the lyrics are to do with freedom, we used it as a theme for our video, like the cross-dressing, the running around and doing whatever we want. And the digipack, has a theme of a jail hype board in the background. So the freedom that we've expressed in our music video has then followed through to our digipack, showing that we've had too much fun, we've gone a bit off the rails, which is the band name as well, and that we've ended up in jail due to this.
In our ancillary product, we use a large amount of colour in the text to make the product catch a viewer's eye, but this does not link to our footage, as we used a very neutral colour scheme. We chose a very, very bright colour scheme on our text pieces on our ancillary product to try and make it far more eye-catching, to be honest, and it was more to draw the most important information to the viewer's eye, such as our Facebook details. We can cut this part anyway, so. The release date, the band name, and also the album title, which for us is the most important part, is trying to draw the viewer into wanting to research and also dig deeper into the band, thus creating realistically more money probably. But it doesn't really stick with our music video, because our music video we chose a very neutral scheme, as we tried not to make the audience perceive us in sort of like fluorescent blues and pinks as some sort of crazy sort of group, as we were trying to give ourselves a normal style, but also try and keep ourselves as a very sort of rebellious and outlandish sort of group. And I think using a very normal colour scheme on the video and quite a bright wording scheme on the actual text in our ancillary product was quite effective. It did make it stand out to what we needed to stand out, but also then keep the parts we wanted to keep, certain parts subtle and like hinty. What we learnt in our audience feedback. With our rough cut, we were told that we had a very quirky sort of set of footage, and everyone seemed to quite
I thought that was a bit of a compliment.
Yeah, it was
very positive feedback.
Yeah, but that kind of led us on to what we wanted to do, if I'm right, yeah?
Yeah, wanted to keep it throughout the whole video.
That was our
I think the first part of it, which was the first leading shot, which we weren't too sure about using at the very start, was Sam and Bethan playing the guitar and looking like a busker, and then Sam walking along and just kind of meeting up with her and giving her some change, which everyone thought was quite a unique shot, I think.
Yeah.
And it kind of did...
it's unconventional, really.
I guess you wouldn't see it like that, really, would you?
Because the band is like bumping into each other when they should be together in the first place.
Yeah, it kind of looks like the band was formed out really spontaneously, and it kind of really hit the quirky sort of note we're trying to hit with.
Unique.
Yeah. Also, we challenged the mindset really with the whole cross-dressing thing. Would you agree? But I don't think people would usually feel very comfortable around people cross-dressing.
Yeah, but it's like the American
up to a
style.
point, I guess, but also at the same time, as an English style, I think it's really, really challenging what people think of it.
Yeah, people do get uncomfortable with it.
And by
take it the wrong way, yeah.
Me and you did it in public, in a public square, and you were blushing 90% of the time, and it wasn't exactly the most comfortable of
events,
experiences. But I think the fact we've done it did challenge people's mindsets.
Yeah.
It did make it a lot more interesting to do. If you agree.
But it is the free will, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it does match it with the free will entire theme, really. But whether or not it's challenged people enough, though, 'cause I mean, by the entire theme we were going for was spontaneous and free will. And with that sort of shot, we did hit that sort of note with it, but was it pushing it far enough?
Well, we did other things in public.
Yeah, fair point. How did you use your new media technology in the construction, research, planning and evaluation stage? We used Final Cut in our developing stages. Due to the fact it's a very fast and very professional style of program, it's allowing us to cut our footage together very well, and it's actually a very, very reliable program. It only crashes once, I think. But there's a lot of techniques on that which you can do. For example, with split screening.
Yeah.
Which is where we put like four separate videos in together. We spread that out throughout the video twice, and it's beneficial for the fact that it's actually generally a really good program. There's so many tools and so many effects and so many mask layers and things like that you can put onto it, which makes it like a really, really strong program. If you would agree with me.
Yeah.
I think the only problem was using HD cameras took ages to render.
Yeah, we were using two different
That took
cameras.
a long time.
It was because we were using two cameras.
Yeah.
So the footage was on a different format, so you have to render the two together.
Yeah.
It was like every time we cut it in, it'd be like tiny bit more had to be rendered, so you have to check if it was right. Which was basically shooting yourself.
And then it also did keep moving over, didn't it?
Yeah, admittedly it did. Which it made it a lot more irritating.
Yeah.
And drew the process out a bit longer, but hey, at the end of the day, it came out quite well.
Yeah.
But I personally found it quite hard to use at the start, due to it being a Mac. I'm not used to that sort of thing. But after a while, it was alright.
It does get easier, admittedly.
Yeah.
And at the start, it was a
It's got
complex
its own
program to
way.
use, but it did get easier with like a little bit more practice and a little bit more shuffling around.
Another form of media we used was Blogger to upload all our information and show you how we're getting on in our filming.
It's we used it to show basically the main development throughout.
Yeah, how we planned the work.
Put our ideas together.
From like start from scratch to a finishing product.
Yeah.
And it shows quite a storyline of how we got there, to be honest.
Yeah, and if you've forgotten what we've done, you can always go back and see. It's just an easier way of viewing what we've done.
Yeah, you could always go back and develop the point that you made.
The only issue I'd say we had was things like when we were doing posting, and we'd forgotten to either upload something at the right time or we'd uploaded it wrong, and then you'd be stuck with the post in the wrong place.
Yeah.
But no, it's a beneficial program again. It's strong. But at the same time, there's also quite a lot of older technology we use for the fact that it's just easier and quicker to get on with things like drawing storyboards up and
Yeah, you just want to do it manually rather than on
Like
the computer. It's
mind
far
mapping.
easier.
bombing up like that. It's just it's so much quicker and easier to get your point across.
Like with CD cover, we did. You drew the thing on the board, didn't you?
Yeah, we had
Didn't
a
use technology
high
for
board.
the
background.
It made it look more rough as well, to be honest. It made it look feel
Yeah,
instead of being such a crisp and perfect shot, it made it feel a bit more raw.
good start.
Yeah. We also used Photoshop, which I believe Bethan and I both had some small problems with.
Oh yeah, Celsi did the posters and I did the CD cover case. It went really well actually. We both like it, don't we?
There are a couple of issues, like we're both having small like crossover problems, like finding certain tools in like different places than we thought, and also quite a lot of random abilities that we hadn't actually tried out. Which we want, I think, in hindsight, if given more time on it ourselves, we probably would have got probably a stronger one, if you'd agree.
Yeah.
Probably would have come out a bit crisper and more
Because
concise.
we just learned how to use it really, well I had anyway.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it came out pretty tidy, and the software wasn't too bad actually, if you agree. What else was there?
YouTube.
Yeah.
That's where we got our inspiration from. It's
Research.
and research. It's the largest video website in the world. Most artists post their music videos on there, so it's a great place just to grab ideas and do our research.
A good example of that would be things like Blink-182 and where we pitched their videos to actually have a proper look at.
Yeah, and they're really easy to stream and get down, whereas other websites that would
Slower,
broadcast videos
quality.
were much slower. So YouTube was a really good one for us to do because we needed to research really quickly
Yeah, but there
and
would be
efficiently.
a manual alternative to that, which would be something like finding a DVD and watching it yourself, which would be higher quality and faster.
And we'd have to pay as well.
It'd be a lot harder to find the DVD you're looking for. But we use everything. We could have used Final Cut, for example, in our research and planning stages, because we could have done our storyboard into like a small small movie to show how we wanted to come across, but it didn't feel quite right. Plus, we didn't have much more time within it because we were chopping and changing ideas quite quickly at this point.
Yeah.
But we used Photoshop, Blogger, and YouTube throughout every single stage. And in the construction stages, we were constantly looking back onto YouTube and comparing what we had to see if it would fit well. And also, like in our research stages, it was our main body of research, planning as well, and also,
On
to be
Blogger,
honest,
there's a lot of our YouTube videos.
yeah, and also in our evaluation, actually, I'd say when we're looking back at it, you still wanted to go back and see if it's breaking boundaries or if it's not pushing conventions.
Yeah, review it.
Yeah.